find stuff. If I don't seem right, it might be that I'm off weed right now. If it don't feel right, it won't be, no, it won't be tied down. If I don't see you till we meet next, baby, keep an eye out. I'll be right around, feet higher than geese flying stuff. If I don't seem right, it might be that I'm off weed right now. If it don't feel right, it won't be, no, it won't be tied down.
Welcome to Les Plus Ambitieux AVNJ's adventures thus far. You might think, well, the most ambitious had to be Malaysia. But in Malaysia, I knew people in advance and I went and visited friends. En France, I'm alone. I'm renting a car as I fly into the Montpellier airport, and I'm going to drive around the country and potentially to other countries and just find amazing fish. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about it, but I'm also very excited for the trip. It was kind of spur of the moment and last minute, and I'm going to try to make this the greatest AVNJ's adventures ever. We're going to see as much cool stuff as we can. All right, so step one of any successful AVNJ's adventures, and one that I almost always skip over in the videos, is the planning stage. It's actually the most important thing. And oh boy, has this been a headache to plan thus far. Turns out, after contacting a bunch of people, researching on the internet, and looking everywhere that I could look, France does not mention dip nets, aka the handheld net that I use, anywhere in their laws, meaning that basically, depending on the opinion of the person that you're talking to, it's either illegal or perfectly legal as a loophole, and at best it seems to be a moral gray area. But ignoring the legality, I had to pick out spots, and so what I do when I want to pick out spots is I just go to iNaturalist and put in fish and France, and then look through the list of species and see what seems interesting. Okay, a lot of these are ocean fish, but I focused on the freshwater fish. And so from that, I created these wonderful locations. So yeah, that is pretty much it for planning. Well, no, of course not, but that's the part of planning that I don't normally show you guys. So now that we're on the same page about where I'm going and when and the legality of it, let's get going.
Been called J. Cole, man, this is way cold, man, this that 8 flow, man, know my 8 level up, need like 8 more, man, I don't hate no, man, I don't chase no, man, 2.5 Macarena, 4.5 slow dance, in my pockets Roseanne, and my music choke slams, and my trophies hold hands, don't confuse it with some tan, gone uncut, cut, y'all looking sus.
Well, I have made it. I am in France, in a rental car, so all was successful in the end. Well, not quite everything. I wanted to sleep on the way here because this is a new day. It's the morning and I figured that would get me on a good sleep schedule. But no matter how hard I tried, I could not fall asleep. I was in the absolute back of this gigantic plane and I was right against the toilet. So every time someone would flush, I could hear it, or open and close the door, I could hear it. And I'm bad at falling asleep with a good amount of noise. I stay asleep with noise, but I don't fall asleep well with noise. But either way, I made it through the airport. All right, we get out. I don't even know how to describe Charles de Gaulle, the Paris airport. It's very weird. I felt like I was in one of those builder, like hamster cage things where you attach the pipes together. There were just diagonal glass tunnels going in every direction. Found my way to my flight, took my flight to Montpellier. Now I am here. Now I am ready to start a day of beauty and fishing. And because my whole sleeping plan didn't work out, I went with plan B, which was caffeine. I don't consume much caffeine, so I figured it'd have a pretty strong effect on me. So I've never had a cappuccino, but I don't know, there was a place in the Charles de Gaulle airport that had a cappuccino machine, so I said, I'll get a cappuccino. Oh my God, it's so bad. I don't like coffee as is, and it's so bad. The amount of foam, and the foam was never ending, and it was so bitter, and then the drink itself was disgusting. But I think I have energy, so hopefully I last the day. I gotta shut up, because I've been waiting here a while, and I have like 7 hours of daylight, but we got a lot to get done. I don't have a single fish in this country. Anything I catch is a lifer, so let's get going. All right, I have arrived. Couple notes on your roads, France. One, you have a lot of roundabouts, which I guess isn't a bad thing. 2, the roads are way too thin. Holy crap, man. I was like rubbing elbows with the people on either side of me at any given time. If I lived in this area and had to drive here often, I would just be munching curbs every day. Just nom nom on that, because there's no room. I don't know how to properly describe. Maybe I'll have to like set up my phone and take a video when I drive. There is no room to drive. Well, it's a bit windy today, so excuse the audio quality, but this is the stream we're working with, and I have seen my first fish. I wanted to make sure there wouldn't be a ton of people around, so I'm gonna go up and grab my net and waders and run down and just try to move upstream out of, the view of people hiking and see what I can catch. All right, as I was heading back up to get my net and waders, I saw a bunch of people coming in. So in order to avoid that attention, I decided to head to my second spot. And this is my second spot. A lot less people. Still see fish. The spot's a little stiller. There's no flow that I can see. Maybe upstream we'll try. I don't know. Just do the best I can. Hope I don't sink into mud and die because it looks a little muddy. Find a fish. And of course, the first fish I catch in France will be the only fish in the country that is not a new species to me. The mosquito fish. Oh my God. Okay, I figured it out. It's because there's a canal next to the stream. So I just had to go a little bit further. And my God, look at this. Look at that aquatic vegetation. It's so beautiful. This stream is actually gorgeous. I don't think I've ever fished a stream with this substrate at all. This will be cool. All right, new fish. And there it is, my first French minnow. I believe these are Languedoc minnows, the local foxiness. Sick. Built a brand new photo tank just for this adventure. It was one of the failed ones where I got a little bit too much glue on the side, but you'll see even a failed photo tank does absolutely amazing with these fish. AVNJ photo tank's pretty cool, huh? Check out that minnow. Alrighty, I got a sculpin, or as they call them here, bullheads. I don't know which one off the top of my head. It's either a European bullhead or an Aral sculpin, the local river one. I didn't really mark down which would be which here. And I still haven't even left this area. Beautiful. Well, I assume there's only one species of sculpin in here, but this guy looks quite different, so I decided to take a picture of him just in case. I don't know, in the United States you can't really distinguish sculpin by looking at them, but maybe here there's a distinction, those little rough patches on him. Or maybe it's just female, male, or just breeding season, not, Sculpins have a lot of variety. All right, I'm lost on this one. Tiny minnow of some sort, but who knows which one. It honestly gives me pearl dace vibes, like the American fish, though it's obviously not that. Even though it has like a little bit of red on the belly, it's got the pearl dace face. Very interesting. Everything about it reminds me of a pearl dace. I'll be curious to see what this is later. One of the probably rudd roach, one of those chub. Well, I am capable of catching many fish, but it is just sculpin and the foxiness. So I may have to try different strategies because although very beautiful, it's not a colored up one, and I'm trying to get as many species as possible. So hit a few more pools up there where I got the weird leucicid, the weird little minnow, and then maybe head out. Damn, France has got some cool snails. Look at this shell. I don't know if it's just like the wear on it that's giving it that cool effect, but it's quite pretty. All right, well, with this being the biggest and prettiest foxiness that I've caught, I think I'm gonna call it on this stream and head to the next spot where there's some other new unique stuff. And I actually wrote down what's at this stream this time, so I'll know what I'm looking for. Okay, before I go though, I took all my fishing stuff off. I'm now just a regular trail goer with cameras. I saw the bluest bird I've ever seen, and I decided to execute my idea. I have a friend who's a bird biologist, right? And he knows American and European birds fairly well. I have not told him that I'm coming to France. So imagine I take a photo of a very recognizable, let's say that bird, which was stupidly blue, by the way. We have a blue bird in America. Doesn't even compare. They should switch the names to whatever this thing is called. It was so blue. If I can find that thing again, take a photo, I'll send it to him and ask him for an identification, which I do all the time with birds in America. Never once have I mentioned it in France. He's going to freak out and think, oh my God, this is one of those rare bird alerts, like a stray from across the Atlantic Ocean. And then I'll reveal that it was in France. Epic prank. I'm now getting my plant and bug species photos in, and I went and I was like, oh, cool vine, and I touched it and I was like, hold on a minute. I'm immune to poison ivy. That doesn't mean I'm immune to whatever that is. It's probably just like English ivy or something, but I don't want to really mess with it. And cool, European lichen, I forget which way I'm supposed to say it and which way is the correct way. Anyways, oh God, I've become a 40-year-old smoker. Anyways, let me find that bird. All right, just some quick research on the drainage I was in. I tried to get a photo of a bird and couldn't get one, so hopefully I'll get a pretty bird later in the day or another day or whatever, and I can still pull off the prank. But I did a tiny bit of research, and I think I'm in the Les, or Les, L-E-Z, so that would make that Les sculpin. That it's a sculpin that I think is endemic to that drainage. So that's pretty cool. So it was neither of the bullhead sculpins that I thought it was. It's actually a unique species that I couldn't really get anywhere else. Time to head to the next spot. Alrighty, I am here. This one is like a bigger river setting. I'm not going to be able to get out super deep. It'll mostly be fishing in the shallows. This river is the Erot, meaning it'll probably have that sculpin named after it, the self-titled sculpin. It also just has better chances at like the chub, rudd, bream, roach, all that crap, because it's a bigger water body basically. And I believe this one might have European minnow. It might still be Languedoc minnow. I'm not totally sure. Either way, we'll see what we can get. Well, I may have underestimated this river. It's a little bigger than I expected, a little deeper than I expected, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch even one fish here. It's very rocky, so there's not like vegetated hiding spots. Maybe in the summer there is. I don't know. The riffles look nice, but I can't really access them. Hey, look at this though. That's pretty crazy, right? Just a cliff. This is such a weird environment. Like, I'm in the mountains. It's so weird. This ecosystem is just so odd. Very cool though, but I think I might have to pass on this location. I think I'm very tired. Let me switch the camera around. I'm very tired on account of, not having slept last night and running on one really crappy cappuccino, or maybe normal cappuccino, and I just don't like them. So I think I'm gonna head down to my saltwater spot and find a hotel and just prep to do my saltwater. When it gets dark, it's gonna be low tide. Literally birds are flying right over my head and I can't take photos of them. Stupid. Yeah, so I'll just find a hotel, get ready, do my saltwater for like an hour or two after dark when it's low tide, and then get to bed because I'm very tired. And it would be better to start tomorrow, start heading west towards the coast and get the new species then. Slight change of plans. I think I'm too tired. But if I go to sleep now, when I wake up, it'll still be dark and it'll be on the next low tide in the morning. So I'll probably leave here at what is the French equivalent of like 3 a.m. and get there with a few hours of dark to play. And honestly, there'll be less people around because it'll be very early in the morning. It's probably best case scenario. I have about an hour and a half drive. So if I sleep somehow 10 hours, I'll still be there when it's dark. So we good. All right, I am happy to announce that I am no longer on New Jersey time. I am, however, sad to announce that I'm not on France time either. It is a little past 10 p.m. here, and I am woken up. I've slept about 7-8 hours, and I'm ready to go. So we're just gonna drive down to the ocean and see what we can do, and then I guess drive through the morning. I don't know. When I get tired, I'll go to the hotel, and when I'm hungry, I'll eat. I guess we'll meet the basic hierarchy of needs as they come up. That seems to be the best strategy. So yeah, let's head out. Okay, thanks for shutting the light off on me, car. All right, about an hour and a half and one embarrassing toll moment later, I have arrived. I didn't know I was supposed to pick up a ticket as I got on the highway to pay the toll. So then when I got off the highway, I couldn't go through the thing. I thought about like waiting behind someone and then trying to make it through, but those things come down really fast and I don't want to get arrested. So I pushed like the call for help button and the guy on the intercom yelled at me for not having a ticket. But then he was like, okay, where'd you come from? And let me pay. So all good. Now I am at the ocean. There's the bay in front of me and the ocean itself, the Mediterranean Sea behind me. Let's just explore and find as many cool fish as we can. Everything should be a lifer. Unlike freshwater, where the first fish I caught was a mosquito fish, I believe that there should not be, I'm gonna jinx myself by saying it, there should not be a single fish in the waters here that I already have. It should all be new. Diversity, who knows? We'll do our best. I think it's probably pretty close to high tide now. I didn't time this the best, but that's okay. I'll still find stuff, I'm sure. Night walking in France. There's the bay. The ocean's on the other side. And I'm walking. Well, I have not seen a fish yet, but I found a dead crab. So that's cool. Probably a new crab species. Oh wait, I lied. I did see one tiny fish, but I missed it. So we keep fishing. The diversity does not seem to be great. I've literally only seen one fish thus far, but I barely explored, so who knows. Alrighty, I got a few small fish. I think they're probably sand smelt. The replacement for silver side. Oh wait, no, that looks like a killifish, doesn't it? Oh, interesting. Okay, I gotta put them in the tank and see what they are. Alright, so I think the two swimming around are the sand smelts, like big scale sand smelt or whatever it is. And then I definitely got a goby of some sort, though who knows what type of goby that could possibly be. I'm gonna take the best pictures I can, but at that age it's pretty hard to identify a goby, so we'll see. I believe this is another one of the sand smelt, just a nice bigger one, so that's cool. I have not reached any structure yet. I'm hoping when I get to the rocks up there by the bridge that I'll find different stuff. Check out the giant stinging jellyfish that got trapped in the seaweed here, my god. Alrighty, well I saw this sitting on the bottom and I have caught something weird. It's a big eel, but the face is so odd. It's like, it's not a moray, I don't think. It doesn't move like one anyways, or open its mouth, but it's just got the weirdest little face. It never stops moving, so I can't really show you too well. But it moves like a damn snake. Like, this doesn't seem like it's a fish. But alas, this is a fish. Look at that. That's weird. Alright. You can go. Have a nice time. What a weirdo. Look at that, man. What the hell? Alright, I am going to call it for the ocean. I tried looking around a bit more and didn't find anything. I'm happy we got the eel thing, because otherwise I would have just found the two most common fishes in this ocean and nothing else. Diversity wasn't great here. The spot looks really good on Google Maps, but in reality it's kind of like a backwater bay area that things aren't really getting filtered into. And I think my friend was right about how much structure the fish here, they want something to cling on to, you know, like rocks or driftwood or something. So I'll find something like that for another day. For now, I'm going to start heading west. I always forget if it's west or east, towards the Atlantic coast, because there's a bunch of mountains in there that have unique species of fish. So I'm gonna go through that. I'd like to find some sort of like 24-hour grocery or something though, because I could use a drink and a snack or something like that. The good thing about operating on a different schedule than someone else is I haven't seen a soul, and that's great while fishing, so I don't get bothered. The bad thing is that nothing is open, so if I'm hungry or thirsty, I don't really know where to go, you know? They don't seem to exactly have like a 7-Eleven equivalent, but we'll see. I'll try to find something. Well, all of the grocery stores and gas stations are closed or don't have food, but I found a pizza dispenser. I guess I'll get a pizza from it. What the hell is this? Don't touch the aluminum. They were very clear not to touch the aluminum. Vending machine pizza is the pizza for you and me. Bon appetit. Alright, so the main river here, the Salat, is way too big and fast and deep for me to handle. But there's a tributary here, and I think that's why I pinned this location. The tributary is shallow, but still quite fast. It could be a good place to get the species that I hadn't got yet, like gudgeon and loaches. But it's also slightly scary. It is what it is. It's not actually dangerous. It's just, I don't know. Something about being in a different country and trying new things, I guess. You know, if I run into this stream in New Jersey, I would dissect the hell out of this thing. I would get in there. I would hit every habitat spot. I would find every fish the stream had to offer. But for some reason, you know, maybe it's the fact that it's the middle of the night and I'm in France. It's a bit different. Okay, actually, it seems to have just been one major riffle at the bridge. The rest of the stream here doesn't seem so bad, especially the shallows, so I may be able to find something cool. Alas. Oop, I saw a fish. All right, let's do it. First catch is the local foxiness. Look at how well he sits in the photo tank. Even this reject photo tank where I had to fix it a bunch of times, has a giant streak against the glass, still gets better photos than I've seen in any other photo tank. Look at that. Yeah, that should be a different species of foxiness. I would be mad if I've traveled 5 hours from the last spot and this isn't a different species of foxiness. At worst, this is European minnow. At best, this is like Pyrenean minnow. I don't know, something. We're in those mountains. Could be anything. I also have another minnow in here to look at. Yeah, I honestly don't know what this one is. He's weird looking. He looks kind of like the pearl dace looking thing that I caught yesterday, but also he looks quite different, and he has black like only on his upper lip, which is interesting. He might just be a young Foxinus because he has black on his upper lip, and I don't really know what they look like necessarily as young, so like probably the same species. But there should be plenty of other stuff. I didn't even get to the flow yet. That was just some plants that I netted. Well, after searching for a bit, trying a lot of different habitat with all the different methods that I know, the only thing I'm catching are the Foxinus, the European minnows. So hopefully they're a different species. I'm pretty sure now that I've looked at a bunch of them and seen a bunch of different ages, I'm pretty sure the babies were that as well. The small one was that as well. So I have only caught one species here, and I don't really know how to do much better. I've tried all my strategies in all the different locations. It's just a really difficult river. I mean, it's kind of bigger than I would usually tackle. And it doesn't help that it's nighttime. I tried them under a bunch of the rocks in the flow, didn't have much luck. So I think I'm gonna wait. It should almost be daylight soon. So I'm gonna find a grocery store that's gonna be open so I can get food and water, and then head to the next spot, even further west with the same targets. Well, I was planning a spot to fish, but I don't think it's gonna work out in terms of fishing. I think it's private property. But holy crap. Look at the view on this road. This is ridiculous. Okay, sure, that's pretty. Well, unfortunately, I think it's safe to say the Adore is a little bit higher than I expected. Holy crap, it's like whitewater rafting, probably worse than most whitewater rafting. But there are a unique sculpin and minnow, and I think gudgeon in here, though we haven't been lucky with gudgeon thus far. So I'm just gonna try this little side thing. Hopefully, you know, that's not too deep, because that main thing looks insane. And also, I'm not sure if I'm on someone's property or not. It was labeled as a road, but it didn't feel like a road. So we'll see what we can do. All right, well, I already caught something, and it is not the minnow or other thing that I was looking for. It looks like maybe a bleak or bream or one of the little cool silver guys. Well, as I write off a gudgeon as a possibility, there's a damn gudgeon. I think the Adore, this river, this is the Adore River, by the way, I think it has its own gudgeon, which would make this the Adore gudgeon, which is cool. It means I did a good job in coming here because I found a unique species. Also, the other minnow was also new to me, but I want the minnow. Mainly I want the minnow, the Foxinus species that's in here. And usually they're the most abundant thing in these vegetated areas, so hopefully I'll be able to find them. All right, well, oh, foggy camera. I didn't really want to put waders on because I don't know how committed I want to be. I don't know if this is someone's property, but I want that Adore minnow, and then we can go. I don't think I'm gonna find the sculpin here, but there is like a little pooly section of the side riffle. I think I can get in this just fine. I've been feeling it out. Hopefully we can get it. All right, I got in the water for a second and I caught two more gudgeon, and whatever this is, I'm very confused about this fish. This is not a Foxinus. This is not a Languedoc minnow. What the hell is this? I've never seen anything that looks like this before. I'm sure I know it and I'm just forgetting, but that's a cool fish that I did not know was in here. I didn't know what I was targeting. Well, there we go. That is a Foxinus right there. That would be the Adore minnow. So other than the sculpin, that is everything that I was looking for here, and more actually. I got two extra things that I wasn't looking for. Man, those rapids are ridiculous. I don't know if they're really loud for you guys. I'm trying to stay close to the microphone so that I'm not drowned out, but the rapids are really loud. But yeah, no, that was pretty much all I expected here. So probably net one or two more times for fun and then head out. I don't even know where the next spot is. I think this might have been my last spot in this area. So we'll see. Okie dokie then, I just took a random scoop through an area blindly that I couldn't see anything from and filled my net with shiners. Okay, I'm gonna have to look through and see if there's anything unique other than the big guys to photograph. Okay, well he's got red on the front of the pectoral fin, and I forget what fish that's an indicator of, but it's an indicative feature, so I will be able to identify him 100%, which is cool. All right, so I have arrived at the hotel for the night, day, whatever. I don't know. It's like a mixture between the two. As you can see, I took a shower. I uploaded a bunch of photos, got a bunch of stuff down. Honestly, jet lag is kicking my butt right now. I'm not sleeping at a time that makes sense. I had to go this whole morning without water because nothing was open. I thought at least there'd be a vending machine somewhere in France, and I couldn't come across a vending machine. and the only food I had had was vending machine pizza, which frankly was not very good. Not that you can necessarily expect vending machine pizza to be good. Whatever, enough complaining. It's been a little rough and it has felt a bit difficult, but going through all the photos reminded me of all the good, cool stuff that I found. We found tons of cool fish. That one weird fish with the black line that I was trying to figure out what it was is a topmouth gudgeon, which I don't think was on any of my lists of like planned fish to come across. So it's always nice to get a surprise fish. And everything else just about checked out as to what I thought it was. I got Languedoc minnow, European minnow, and Adore minnow. So I got 3 foxinus, which is pretty great. I don't really have a plan for tomorrow because it's kind of supposed to rain. It's the last day. I just will head back towards the airport and stop at streams on the way, I guess. It's probably the best plan that I can come up with. I don't know. Oh, and quick fun story. So I get to the hotel, right? And I'm checking in with the guy at the front desk. And he's like, "You have ID?" And this is all in French. He goes, "You have ID?" I was like, "Yep." So I give him my driver's license, my American driver's license. And he is staring at this thing for a while, like 15 seconds straight, just holding it in front of his face, staring at it. And he tells me, I can't find your name. And I was like, oh. So I lean over to help him, to point out where the name is. I get it, people don't see American license very often. You might not know where the name is. So I lean over to point to him where the name is. And as I'm leaning over, he goes, "Oh, I got it," and starts typing organ donor as my name for the account today. So apparently that's a thing that can happen. Good morning, France. Kind of. It's 2 a.m. this time. I'm so close. If I woke up 4 hours later, I'd be waking up at a normal French time, but 4 hours early is not that bad, I don't think. And it'll actually time me perfectly because I'll be able to sleep today and then take my flight right after. So I'll be woken up for my flight and I can just watch YouTube. But it is the final day in France today. I just picked out some spots. I actually got through all the spots I already had listed. So I just picked out some spots on the map, not based on anything, just different like big rivers that had cool tributaries. And I'm gonna hit them as I head back to Montpellier for my flight tonight. That's about it. Let's get going. Oh, and by the way, I went through iNaturalist and I got that weird eel thing, if you remember, from the ocean night. I got it identified. Turns out it's called a armless snake eel, which my friend Mark pointed out that despite the fact that neither snakes nor eels have arms, they felt the need to put armless in front, which is a pretty great common name if you ask me. Alrighty, we have arrived at the first location for the day. It is currently 4:30 a.m. in terms of France time. This is a big river, so I'm not expecting to catch much, or even, I'm not even going to bring waders because I don't even think I'm going to be able to get into the river. Just going to net the edges and see what I can come across. I didn't really look into what drainage this is and what's in here, so if I catch a foxinus, one of the minnows, it might be a different minnow or a different sculpin or etc. So I'll just see what I can find. Who knows? Haven't done a true big river yet. We did the Adore, but we did like a little side stream, so I want to try a true big river, so let's do it. Okay, sorry about the lighting, but I've changed my mind. I'm putting my waders on. It's a big river, but there's like parts where I guess people piled rocks, and it's crystal clear, and there's like shallow bits. So I'm putting my waders on. I think we could actually catch something cool. So I was checking out where there might be a good entry point, and I found this area where I assume people probably like take their kids and swim, but it's so weird. It's like, I don't know, a foot or two deep along the edges, and then the middle is like 20 feet deep. It just drops off, but there is a nice riffle and everything. I should be able to find a ton of fish in here. It's crystal clear. This is an amazing spot for nighttime. During the day, this spot would not be possible because this is a big park where there'd probably be a ton of people. All right, after like 50 tries, I caught my first fish. I believe it's a bleak, but I'll take better photos just to be sure. There are so many fish. I've seen gudgeons and sculpins and tons of minnows. I've just been doing a really bad job at netting them, so I'm gonna get better, I swear. I forget what this fish is called. It's like barbel or barbachula or something, but that's pretty cool. That is not one that I was expecting here. I just kind of netted blindly and came across it. I wonder if the things I saw on the bottom that I thought were gudgeon were actually this guy, or if there's also gudgeon in here. Wow, he's so pretty. Well, there's my friend the gudgeon. I found you. And this shouldn't be a Pyrenean gudgeon because I think I'm too far away from there. Hopefully it's either like a common gudgeon or maybe a Languedoc gudgeon or something, but either way, it should be a new species for me. Very pretty. You can see it looks similar to the last thing, the Barbitula. I still don't know if it's Barbel or Barbitula, one of the two, I forget. You can see the snout is not quite as long, the patterning is different, and although it also has the whisker kind of goes in a different direction. Very cute though. All right, so I cleared out the weirdo list with the gudgeon and the Barbitula, so really the only thing left that's interesting would be shiners. But this is a really good opportunity because it's a big river and it's a fishable big river because it like splits and it's very weird. So this could potentially be where I could get some of the bigger river shiners that are harder to get everywhere else. So I'm gonna stay for a bit and just net some shiners, take advantage of the fact that it's nighttime and I'm not bothered. So yeah, let's see how we do. Okay, I got another minnow, but I'm not sure about this guy. I think maybe a chub based on sort of the rounded face, large scales. But I don't know, he doesn't have like the red on the fin that I expect and some other stuff that would make me think it's a chub. So maybe it's something new. That would be cool. Alrighty, now I'm going to head to the next spot. It's about 2 hours away. It's another random spot that I picked out this morning. Who knows? I only have those 2 spots left to go, but they're quite a bit of driving away. So got to make sure that I do all that. Then got to drop the car back off at the airport and head to my flight. So let's get going. Alrighty, 3 hours later, we are at the next location. And yes, it is like a 2 to 3 hour drive between every one of these spots. One of the greatest things about France is that the drainages are so big, you know, like one big river system where it's going to have all the same species is a very large area. It's great for if you're trying to find a certain species because you've got a lot of room to look for it. But when you're looking for as many species as possible and moving between drainages, it's literally 3 hours for me to get from one main river to another main river so that there's different species. So anyways, we're in a different river system right now. I think it's called the Tarn is the name of the big river, and it was huge. I drove by it earlier on the way here because what I'm at right now is a tributary of that, I think called the Dourbe. And the Tarn was just massive. I mean, you thought the Adore was massive at that spot we were at yesterday. Puts it to shame totally. This one's pretty large and fast flowing. I'm just gonna see if I can find some pools or something, maybe get a quick minnow or two. I don't know, just hang out, get some cool observations. I'm not really targeting any more species. I got pretty much everything that was on all of my target lists, so I'm just sort of using the last day to go to some spots and see if I find anything cool that I wasn't really expecting. Well, the tributary is not as big, but it's pretty. It's pretty fast moving, but it's shallow. So I feel like if I wanted to, I could probably catch like a trout or something here, but I'm probably just gonna focus on minnows, go down to like the more pooly area there with less flow. Got some minnows. Also the birds are singing. It's a little windy, so you're not gonna be able to hear, but the birds are singing and it's really pretty. I think it's just all the European robins. Wow. I don't think this is a new fox nest because I've already caught a bunch, but this is the most colored up one thus far by a good bit. Look. He's got some of the yellow on his belly, some of the red on his fins. He's very pretty. I love these minnows so much. Well, that was a quick one. I don't think I got anything unique there, but a better picture of a foxinus, whichever one it is, probably European minnow or Languedoc minnow. A better picture is always good. And I got a cute picture of a little European robin hobbling about on the cliffs over there. So I'll take that as a success. I only have one freshwater spot left for the day. And then I was thinking about hitting saltwater. My current plan is hit that freshwater spot, chill out, go to sleep, wake up in the nighttime, do saltwater, drop my car off, and catch my flight the next morning. We'll see how that goes. And I'm stuck on a mountain road. Well, I'm not stuck. My car's fine, but the car in front of me is stuck. So I can't go anywhere for a while. Okay, this has been an adventure. I'm now soaking wet. So this woman got stuck on the road because her car couldn't get through the snowy road on the mountain. Fair enough. I don't know that I could have gotten through it either. I get stuck behind her because she's stuck. Then another guy gets stuck. So we call people to come help and they're gonna have to plow the road now. We had to back all the way into a parking area so they can get by with the plow and unstuck ourselves. And then hopefully I should be able to go that way once they finish plowing. Who knows? Well, as I'm on my way out, after the stuck woman has left, the tow truck that's supposed to save her comes in front of me. And then, as I'm stuck face to face with the tow truck, behind me pulls up the plow. So I'm now in a sandwich of government workers stuck on the road even more. They tried to push me. I managed to get like, I don't know, 100 feet up the road. I'm only like 400 feet from the main road, which is so much better than this. And I just need to get to that. I'm like 400 feet away. But now there's like a three-way blockage where everyone's facing different directions and there's no room to turn around. And it's continuing to snow. So we'll see. Well, an hour later, I am out of the mountains. It was quite the game. We had 4 cars ended up, another car pulled up behind. We ended up having 4 cars back to back, all facing different directions. So we had to do this crazy game of like trying to get everyone to turn around in a little spot, and the tow truck got towed by the plow truck. So yes, the tow truck was the one getting towed, not the one towing. And then like I had to go around a bunch of times, and I had to go backwards on a slippery, quite literally like a size for the US, a one-way road covered in snow and ice and slush. Go back down that, by the way, at like a 45-degree angle at the top of a mountain. So anyways, the lesson learned is be aware of the weather, and if it's gonna snow, maybe don't take mountain roads. I won't blame my GPS entirely, because you know I could have avoided mountain roads, I guess, but my God, that was a situation. But I bonded, I made friends. The tow truck driver and the guy stuck behind him and the plow driver were all very nice, and it was good to meet them. So I guess thank you to those people. I'm now a person. Needless to say, I'm skipping that stop because it required me to be in the mountains, and it seems like it's a bad idea to be in the mountains right now. It's also raining pretty hard where it's not snowing. So I'm at an Aldi, which is a grocery store, and I'm just gonna get some food and drink and chill out, maybe go to sleep, and then wake up for a little bit of night fishing before my flight. All right, I have arrived at the bay/ocean. I was advised to find more structure for these fish, so I have chosen a spot with lots of rocks. So hopefully I'll be able to find more unique ocean fish. I've been catching the sand smelts as per usual, but I saw something a bit different than the sand smelt from the surface, so I went and nabbed it, and look at that. It's got like gold on it. That is super weird. I have no idea what this is. I got an incredible picture of that golden fish. I'm not sure what it is, but the picture came out amazing. Which reminds me, if you don't follow my Fishtagram, you should. I don't gain anything by you following it. I don't like post pictures of myself or anything. It's literally just good pictures that I take of fish. So if you want to like see cool fish occasionally and, you know, have that brighten your day, I take some pretty decent photos sometimes and some pretty cool photo tanks. So you can follow that, or don't. It's okay. It doesn't benefit me if you do. What the hell, man? I ran down the rocks thinking there was some crazy ribbon eel. Look at this thing. It's a worm. It's not an eel. What the hell is this? I thought this was a ribbon eel. It's like a tapeworm. Oh my God. Tiny cute snail. Tiny cute snail on the rock. Okay, well I decided to sit for a moment and inspect. You might see in the light there is a new fish for me. Now I just have to catch it. Woohoo! Success. Got some pretty decent photos of them. I'm leaning bream of some sort, but I don't really know the fish in the Mediterranean, so who knows. Well, my tapeworm eel thing earlier was not the only one I would get. I got what looks to me like an Anguillidae larva, a true eel larva. Probably Anguilla, the European eel. This is just the very, very baby form of that, which is quite cool. New species. Okay, sitting still is the play and more. I just saw a gigantic sculpin. I took a picture for iNat and then it swam away, but next to the little bream over there, there's another sculpin right there. Oh, don't run away, please. I'm gonna try to catch them. This is a very difficult spot with the rocks here. You guys probably don't realize how hard it is to dip net amongst rocks. It's extremely difficult to catch stuff when this is the environment you're working with, but I will do my best. I've done decent so far, so I'm bound to miss one soon. Well, I would call that a success. Plus, I got some wonderful pictures. He is very pretty. I don't think it's a sculpin anymore. I don't know. Some type of goby, probably. Very pretty though, look at that. Wow. Dude, I swear my phone takes better quality videos than it does photos. If I tried to take a photo of this guy right now, it would be terrible. But the video, it's perfect. Well, unless there is somehow the same type of mullet here than there is in New Jersey, two in New Jersey. I assume this is a different one because it's a different ocean. That would be a new species for me. Alrighty, after a few hours of ocean fishing, that is the fish that I came across. I got a few new species. I was considering not even ocean fishing tonight, so I'm glad I did because the extra species are definitely worth it. Now I got to take a flight home. This is it for my trip to France. It was hectic. It was very tiring. I got destroyed by jet lag, but I found a lot of cool fish and other cool sights. And even though I got stuck in the mountains in the snow today, by the way, I got to meet cool people, see amazing sights, and find a lot of cool wildlife. So overall, pretty awesome trip. Thank you for watching.